Now, I'm not saying it's thanks to me that everybody can get married in America now. Okay, I'm just saying that I moved here, and then 7 years later, same-sex marriage was ruled legal across all of the country. Now, again, there is some correlation there, but I'm not the one saying there's causation. That's for you to go on and say, okay? So we'll move on from that. But no, that's good stuff. I'm really happy that same-sex marriage is now legal. That's awesome. There is a lot more work to be done, of course. America still has a horrible race problem. 5 black churches were burned down recently. Employment discrimination is a huge issue, not just for gay people, but trans people who face a lot of discrimination, a lot of violent discrimination. So well done, America, for being dragged into what the fuck? That Starscream and Scarecrow there, being bigots. That's exactly what they said. If gay marriage was allowed in the country, they'd throw themselves off the lectern. I apologise for that disgusting display. That's what I get for inserting politics into video games, I guess. Batman Arkham Knight released this past week and, well, Warner Brothers had completely fucked up, hadn't it? One of the biggest game titles of the year has now been dominated by talk of the already legendarily botched PC version of the game. While it ran smoothly and looked damn good on PS4, the PC version was visually inferior and required ridiculously high-end machines just to run vaguely smoothly. With so much rage and a rabbit hole of fuck-ups involved, it's fascinating to pull apart the strings that is this shitstorm, so let's crack on with that. Pull our sleeves up, it's gonna be quite a journey. The first indication that something had gone wrong was a suspicious change of minimum hardware specifications. Just days before launch, Warner Brothers quietly updated the specs to Arkham Knight, changing the requirement of an AMD Radeon HD 7870 graphics card with 2 GB of memory to a Radeon HD 7950 with 3 GB. On this day, basically a matter of hours before launch and long after Warner Brothers had drowned us in pre-order incentives, AMD card users were also warned of known issues running the game and promised a fix as quickly as possible. Of course, whether you had an AMD card or an Nvidia one, it would soon become apparent that the performance problems were something everybody could enjoy. Tuesday, at midnight, the game unlocked, and within moments the Steam community was rife with negative reviews and complaints about the game running like shit. Reddit was aflame with outrage, and as I tried the game for myself after waiting an hour for the launch day patch to fucking install, I soon saw why. Even on a fairly decent computer with an Nvidia Titan, Arkham Knight ran like shite. By all accounts, it seems like I had one of the better experiences, but it was still a huge letdown. Graphical stuttering, audio dropping, a locked frame rate of 30 FPS by default, and instances of significant slowdown. Even when going into the game files and uncapping the frame rate, the game still ran poorly. In the aftermath, things only got worse for the game. First of all, a portion of the blame for Arkham screw-ups was placed on Warner Brothers' decision to use DRM, because it's 2015 and some companies still sneak insidious bits of unwanted software into Steam games. Denuvo has been used in such games as FIFA Whatever, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Lords of the Fallen, and has a history of making games run poorly. It's even been an alleged cause of damage to computer hardware, with some SSDs reportedly broken by the software. Nasty stuff through and through, and of course old WB uses it in Arkham Knight because fuck paying customers. In the midst of this, screenshot comparisons revealed that, as well as running like a bucket of dead dicks in a swimming pool of sick, Arkham Knight didn't even look as good as the console version. Inferior or missing textures and the lack of modern graphics features were revealed in side-by-side comparison shots. This latter issue was made even worse by Warner Brothers' completely rubbish justification for capping the game at 30 frames per second, where it confirmed it was trying to force parity between the PC version and consoles. It said the default settings were designed to deliver an experience on par with the current generation of gaming platforms, and went as far as to tell users not to change their game files to get a better experience. So not only was Dubbebeebs holding back the PC version, its talk of parity was bullshit anyway, as this version was demonstrably a lesser experience. Then came what's become known as Chipmunk Gate, where an Nvidia-hosted YouTube video showed off the game running at 60 frames per second and looking absolutely gorgeous with all its pretty GameWorks features. The 60 FPS was obvious bollocks from the start, but Internet Sherlock soon noticed that if you listen very closely, you can hear voices in the video sounding sped up and squeaky, indeed like chipmunks or the beginning of that Babylon Zoo video. Speculation ran rampant, with the popular theory being someone had played the game at half speed then sped up the footage to mimic a smooth 60 FPS. There are less nefarious theories, but the fact is nobody from Warner or Nvidia have addressed the situation to date, leaving the conspiracy to stew and yet more unneeded negative publicity to pile on. Even if there's a reasonable reason for the chipmunk voices, the fact Nvidia's showcasing a game at a frame rate the publisher itself publicly condemned has to at least be a borderline case of false bloody advertising. Somewhere in the whole shit show, we all found out the game was a port by Iron Galaxy, a 12-person studio with experience predominantly in console development. I mean, is it any actual fucking wonder it got fucked up at this point? And after only one full day in public, Warner Brothers made the shocking decision to suspend PC sales of the game and pull it from Steam. Currently unavailable to buy now, although last time I checked the season pass was still available, the game won't be back on Steam until its quality reflects, and I quote, "the way it's meant to be played." Nice Nvidia drop there.
Wait, no! Please, God, no! No! No, please! I remember! Wait, no!
This is a somewhat unprecedented move. Warner Brothers doing the right thing is incredible to begin with, but pulling such a major release from Steam so quickly is a staggering decision. The first patch to fix major bugs for the game is out now, and more are on the way for those who bought the game before Dubbo Bebop pulled it. But let's be honest, just because Double Brothier did the right thing, I am under no illusion that it did it through sheer goodness of heart. Warner Brothers claims in its apology that it has high quality standards and that it values its customers, but if that were true, Arkham Knight would never have released in such a shitty state to begin with. You don't launch games that shoddy and then get to claim you have standards. Fact is, Arkham Knight was considered good enough for release in that state, and it took a sustained and overwhelming outrage in the aftermath for the publisher to finally backpedal. This is, after all, the same company that released a bug-laden Arkham Origins and publicly confirmed it wouldn't be fixing the game's litany of problems because it was too busy working on downloadable content for the fucking thing, and it did that because it could get away with that. Warner Brothers has a history of showcasing contempt and putting dollars way ahead of customer experience, as detailed in the Jimquisition's Warner Bother episode. I simply don't believe this company when it talks of having quality standards and valuing customers. Its behaviour, for years, simply contradicts these sweet-sounding claims. No, let's cut to the chase here. This is the biggest AAA game to be released for PC since Steam rolled out its new refund policy. In Steam user reviews and Metacritic user reviews, the concept of Steam refunds was a popular and recommended idea for those burned by Arkham Knight. NeoGAF kept a running tally of users refunding their games, and one has to believe that Double Bebo saw quite a few returns once the extent of the game's flaws became so quickly apparent. In years past, a company like Warner Brothers could shit any old guff out onto the PC platform and no bother with fixing it. Hell, only recently had WB done so with the maligned Steam version of Mortal Kombat X. In the past, there was no recourse for customers, which is why Warner could smugly declare it wouldn't be fixing its games because it was working on DLC. There was nothing we could do about it. There is no doubt in my mind that the refunds caused this sudden change of heart, or were at least instrumental. That's speculation from me, of course, but pre-refund WB had a history of not fucking bothering. Post-refund WB cares about its customers so much it even preemptively mentions refunds as a possible recourse, trying to look like the good guy. Anybody familiar with Warner's history as a game publisher, however, can tell you the company has more than adequately evidenced that it doesn't want to give a shit. It simply needs to start giving a shit now, because now customers can get their money back with just a few clicks. I said a few episodes back that one of the true benefits of Steam refunds is that any company who wants a place at the PC table will have to start offering real customer service. The days of squirting some broken horse jizz onto Steam and sitting comfortably on a pile of money are over. That money pile is no longer safe. You can't just make your cash and damn the previously non-existent consequences. You just can't do what companies like Warner Brothers and Ubisoft have done in the past. Shaft the PC version and not give a stuff because you made your money and sodom. Not if you want to last. At the very least, even if refunds weren't a factor in Dribble Poo Beef's decision, the overwhelming backlash certainly was. This is what happens when customers have something to be properly mad about, folks. It's a righteous, tasty thing. Of course, we could see more publishers go the Origin route and try to create their own proprietary distribution platforms where Refunds and Backlash will be more personally controlled. But I don't see that becoming popular. I think companies will try it, some of them will, sure, but Steam is the Walmart of PC distribution at this point, and very few savvy companies tell Walmart to fuck off. Regardless, just like with Assassin's Creed Unity before it, no amount of critical acclaim and the publisher doing what it can to restrict and control reviews can undo the horrible PR disaster that has now dominated the discussion about one of the year's biggest games. The patch culture of video games has, over the years, engendered the attitude that you can release games in a broken state now and fix it later, but that shit's just not on. People are getting fucking sick of it, and with the popularity of things like Steam Refunds, people are getting empowered to do something about it. Things like Arkham Knight can't keep happening. The industry is already in a mess, and what Warner Brothers did only damages the whole market overall. This kind of irresponsible behaviour will need to stop if the current AAA industry has any hope of continuing, and I honestly don't care that they took Arkham Knight down from Steam. It should never have gone up in the inexcusable fucking state it was in. So saith Jim fucking Sterling, son.
Thank you.
My Xenomorph and Baron Dark fell off the lectern shortly after I did the intro. I don't know what's happening today, gravity is against me. But I would like to, just before we go, address the people who are really salty about my review that I did for Arkham Knight on the Jimquisition.com. Now, I reviewed the PC version, and some people are furious that I would dare do that I would dare review the PC version, whining that, oh, you should have done the PS4 version, that's the version that works best. Why did you choose the PC version and review that just so that you could criticise it? And I'm like, fuck off. I'd just like to say that right now. Fuck off, okay? It's not my job as a games critic to protect Warner Brothers. It's not my job to select the superior version every single time, to fucking give them a leg up on the criticism. Never mind the fact that my criticism of the game only included, say, 5%, 10%, maybe at the most, criticism regarding the PC version, and most of the review can be applied to the PS4 version, because I didn't like Arkham Knight very much. But anyway, the point is, I find it disappointing and sad that so many people are in the thrall of publishers like Warner Brothers, that they feel I should go out of my way to fucking look after them and give them an edge. No, that's not what I'm here for. Barely anyone got to review the PC version because Warner Brothers wasn't giving those copies out. For good reason, it then came to be known. So all of those people that got the PS4 version got to talk about how great and brilliant it was, and no critics were talking about the PC version. You've got enough reviews of the PS4 version, enough reviews of them. Almost everyone reviewed that version. This is for people who are interested in the PC version, aka a lot of fucking people. So I did my job, I did a service, and you can fuck off if you think that's unfair. So now Mysterio's what the hell? Thank God for me, is what I'm trying to say at the end of the day. Now my mouth's dry, it's going to make sticky noises in the microphone. This whole thing has gone to shit. What in the fuck is going on?